What's going on, guys, and welcome to December's episode of Plus Club, the show where we play the games offered on PlayStation Plus throughout the month, and at the end of the month, we talk about them. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
I'm Chris.
And in December, we played Just Cause 4, Rocket Arena, and Worms Rumble. But before we talk about that, quick reminders to download and play our game of the month picked by you guys, which is Smite, a third-person MOBA. Make sure to download that, play that, come back later this week for Game of the Month. We'll be discussing that game. It's free to play as well, so make sure to play that and come back. And we'll be discussing maybe some changes coming to the Game of the Month formula. Stay tuned for that. Nothing too crazy. We have a Discord, link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms. If you prefer to listen to us in audio form, we have a Patreon if you'd like to support the channel further than liking, commenting, and sharing this video and subscribing. If you're new, we have like 13 spots left in the original 2,000 subscribers. You can be one of them if you want to help us get to 2,000. Once we hit 2,000 subscribers, we will do a group stream, probably play some Jackbox games and hang out. So look forward to that. It's going to happen. It's happening soon. So I'm very excited for that. What do you guys think about that? You guys stoked?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously like looking at a number on a screen doesn't mean a whole lot. But if you like stop and visualize that many people in front of you, it's kind of freaky. So
I think about it every single time. Even when I had 100 subscribers, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I know in the grand scheme of things, it's nothing, but for me personally, I'm like 100 people were like, yeah, I want more of this. And I'm like, that's so fucking cool. So getting near 2,000, fucking wild.
It's mind-blowing. Just like Chevy said, to think about it in a physical context. I don't think I even know over 100 people in real life.
Yeah, most people don't.
Just to think that there's that many people who are following us and watching us is kind of like, whoa, hi.
Yeah, and we have like videos where there's like, 50,000 views or 100,000 views at this point, and like that's just like that many people in the world who have like looked at you and heard you talk, and it's fucking weird. So
Yeah.
stranger danger. Thank you everybody who has subscribed so far and stuck around. We are going to hit that milestone very soon. Very excited about it. Also type in hashtag STLG on your comment if you'd like to be considered on Tastecast when we get those happening regularly. That's one reason why we might be changing the format of Game of the Month, because December has been a very busy month for the channel, like catching up on all the things that we're obligated to do that I'd like to kind of make the end of the year a little more relaxing, I guess. So we also have our best month of PlayStation Plus coming in January. So stay tuned for that. After that, it's smooth sailing, hopefully. Because, I'm like, we got this show to film, we got this show to film, we got this show to film. Did I miss anything? I feel like I missed something. Maybe something. Subscribe. All right, so Plus Club for December. We played 3 games, and I feel like this might be a regular thing now.
Yeah.
I was just complaining about this to someone recently. I'm like, it used to be we have 2 games to play, and then sometimes we have a third bonus game, and sometimes we just want to talk about it 'cause it's a bonus, but now it's like every month we're getting 3, so I'm like, Plus Club is a bigger show now. It's just, now it is. Like, that's what happened.
It's that placeholder for PS5.
Yeah, for sure. Well, fuck, we played 3 games. I feel like we should probably talk about Worms Rumble first. So, if you didn't get a chance to play Worms Rumble, it is a 2D perspective side-scrolling battle royale in the Worms franchise. It's not even really a battle royale.
It's not a battle royale.
It's just
it's like an arena fighter.
It's like an arena shooter. Yeah. I misspoke. You just shoot each other and respawn. So it is a like arena shooter in a 2D perspective, but it is within the Worms franchise. You play as the trademark, very well known Worms from the Worms series. You run around arenas, maps. You jump around, shoot each other, find weapons, and it's just a frag fest, essentially. We all played it, and I'm dying to know. Let's see. Let's go with Chris. What were your impressions of Worms Rumble? Not a battle royale.
Not a battle royale. I come from an extensive history of playing the Worms games with my family. Particularly my dad used to buy all of them, so I'm used to the format that Worms traditionally has. Hopping into this, I was kind of expecting that to be the foreplay, because I've never seen Worms done other ways. But immediately I found out that there is no traditional Worms gameplay style in this. It is like you said, it's a arena shooter. So there's a lot of running, a lot of moving. It's not turn-based. It's not like meticulous planning out your combat. It's just literally run and gun as fast as you can, as well as you can. And that's generally not a gameplay that I particularly enjoy. I played a couple matches in the death match style because I didn't have a higher level, and it recommended different levels for different style modes. So I just kind of wanted to stick with what they recommended because they meant the game. They're kind of going to know how the gameplay is going to go well for you depending on your level. And it was a slugfest. I ended up just hiding in vents with a gun that would ricochet off the walls if I shot it. So I would just sit there and shoot at people as they came down the vent at me, which worked surprisingly well. That being said, I was just disappointed in the fact that A, it was not the traditional Worms gameplay style, and B, trying to get friends into the match was kind of weird. I mean, in a death match, I wouldn't want to play with my friends because I'm not super competitive in that aspect. I'm more team focused. There's a lot of customization ish for the most part in this game, more than I'm used to in a Worms game. Like it's hats and things like that, but you can control voices, hats, animations. You got little cards that read your stats off to people.
Had Arx's voice in it, which is weird.
It did. It had his beard too.
Yeah.
And it also has H2O Delirius's mask in it.
Yeah.
He's also a YouTuber.
I don't know how I feel about that. It felt kind of cheesy to me.
It does feel. I saw that and I was like, really? Like, really? You're gonna throw those YouTubers in? I mean, they're big YouTubers though, so I get it. Like the publicity is there for it.
I feel like they just kind of asked them to do it, and they're like, yeah, sure, fuck it, and they did it. You know, I'm sure they got paid, but like, they're not like trying really. They're just kind of like, Arx says like what's going on, guys? Like he says it exactly the same way as he does all his videos and stuff like that, and it just felt kind of like, I don't know, thrown in, yeah.
Yeah, I got the feeling overall of this game that it was designed to bring the Worms franchise to a younger generation that is used to this gameplay style. I don't think a lot of younger kids would enjoy the traditional Worms, where there's a lot more thought process and meticulous planning. They're kind of, in my experience, the kids that I've played games with and I nannied are used to more of like the run and gun style games. So I felt a little disenfranchised with the whole thing, and so it's not a bad game. It plays really well. It's just not what I was expecting, and I was kind of let down by that.
Yeah. I mean, I pretty much agree with you. I also played this. I only played like, I think 5 matches. Because at that point, you can pretty much understand what this game is. I also have a long history with the Worms series. I'm a big fan of Worms. I love the turn-based nature of it. They're fun games. I've played them so regularly that I've seen their experimentations before. I mean, at one point, they used to have the 2D ones, which are the ones I prefer, and they made a shitload of different ones of those. And then they made the 3D, actual 3D environment one that was also turn-based. I kind of liked that one as well, but I still don't like it as much as the original. And then they made a 3D side perspective one. So it seems like they're trying to find what's going to work in modern day to maybe get people who aren't just Worms fans to play Worms. The problem with that is now they've made, in my opinion, a very generic side-scroller online shooter, which I've played free-to-play games like this already plenty of times, years ago, a long time ago. And that's exactly what this game feels like. It feels like a free-to-play game. If they charge money for this, it's not going to be successful. I don't think it'll be successful anyway, but I don't think this game will have the same audience if it was pay-for premium style, as opposed to if they made it free to play. So I hope, we got this on PlayStation Plus. I hope this goes free to play because this feels like a free to play game. It also, I think, would lend itself better to free to play if they're going to pander to YouTuber audiences with YouTubers, or streamers or whoever the hell else is in the game. I only know Arx out of all those people, but I could tell some of those other people were like, personalities. When it comes to the gameplay, it is what it is. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good. It's very meh. It's fine. I played it. I wasn't enjoying myself, but I wasn't like upset either. It's very straightforward. You fucking move left and right across the map. There's other people moving around. That's why I think I kind of said the Battle Royale thing is because, like, this is the first time Worms has allowed itself to be, like, have like a much bigger roster of people playing together
I think
than
it's like
in Pride.
25.
Yeah, it's the biggest I've seen a Worms game attempt. So, in their minds, I'm sure they're like, let's get more people playing Worms at once. Maybe the social element of it will bring more people into the game, and not be these more like private, like, oh, let's play with my friends Worms. It's fun. That's typically how I've always played Worms. It's just like with my friends. To play online versus a bunch of people and a shitload of people, kind of seems like they're thinking like, more people fighting, we could be more successful if we can pull more people in. Like I said, it needs to be free to play, but gameplay wise, it's very, very exactly what you think it's going to be. You look at a picture of this game, you know what this game is. You aim with the right stick, which I fucking hate the way that feels. Games like this I typically like with a mouse and keyboard better because I think a mouse is easier to aim when you're in a 2D perspective. You just aim at each other and shoot each other. You jump around. That's about it. You can roll. You can hide in like vents and roll through cracks, and you unlock customization items that looks like there's a lot, but a lot of it's just the same item but with different color variants, which is fine. I'm not going to shit on that. I'm glad they did anything. And that reminds me of prior Worm games, but the gameplay is so far removed from what Worms is that this literally just feels like a cookie cutter game with Worms pasted on it for brand recognition, and that's about as far as it goes. So my impressions, it's fine. I will never come back to this game though. I'm not interested in playing it, and that's not a negative. I don't dislike this game. It's just not good enough for me to get my attention. Doesn't offer enough for me to come back to it, and the gameplay is just meh. So it feels like a wasted effort. I really wish that they would make a Worms game like they used to make them, or maybe make different modes to encapsulate the 3D stuff and the 2D stuff all in one game, and then sell like chunks of DLC content to support that game further. And if they have new ideas, have a new mode in that game. I think it'd be smarter to keep people in the same game and not just keep trying all these different Worm games and hope one works, when you're just kind of like spreading thin the very, I guess, specific market that they're even selling to in the first place. So I'm not upset I got this on PlayStation Plus, but I'm glad I didn't buy it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm just going to repeat what both you said. So I'm just going to do bullet points just to kind of keep this shorter. Also came from a background in Worms, was also expecting it to be a more traditional style game, got into it, realized it only had an online mode to play, tried it out, did a couple matches and the tutorial. Like you said, it plays fine, but it's very whatever. Like, it's not special, but it's not bad. Like, it functions. All the Worms weapons are there. They all function in a similar way I'm familiar with, just not turn-based. Like Chris, I hid an event, except for I used a shield, and when people came in, I just charged and squished them against the wall to kill them.
I like how both of you played defensively. I was just jumping around shooting people and shit.
Well,
getting crazy.
I spectated a couple people too, and some people went up to the top of the map, and they were just jumping around and stuff as I went to the bottom instead. But overall, I do think they made a fine game, but I don't think I also could be drawn to play it again outside of obligation, because if I think of Worms, there's other games that I'd rather play, and in the grand scheme of all the games I have to play, it's just not interesting enough. So.
Yeah. Well, that's an understatement. Even the games I think are less interesting take precedent over this game. Yeah. This game almost doesn't exist to me. Of course, that's my opinion, but like, just you saying that in that wording, like, I'm like, dude, like, this, it just doesn't offer anything that's exciting.
Yeah.
And it really kind of sucks, because I love Worms. So, but
no, I agree. And I actually, when we were getting the Plus games, I was looking forward to playing just like an old school Worms. Obviously, that expectation I put on myself. I didn't do the research to know what the game was. Yada yada yada. That disappointment's on me.
You and Chris both mentioned this, and I never even thought of it, because I was like, a game like this, I would be surprised if it had bot support. And you guys both were like, oh, it doesn't have bot support. That sucks. Then I was thinking, like, even though in a game like this, I think it'd be very hard to program AI to kind of play in a way that would be competitive enough. It would be on brand for Worms to have AI because Worms has always had bots.
Yep.
So it would have been worth the extra effort to offer people who maybe are coming back from a prior Worms game to know that, oh, it's Worms. It's going to have bot support, of course. So, that was something I had to kind of flip-flop on because I was like, why would there be fucking bot support? But I was like, Worms has always had bot support.
Always.
So, kind of because, I've played with friends co-op versus bots and stuff like that.
Yep.
And so it would be kind of nice if they offered some kind of bot support in this game.
Or even just and a classic gameplay mode too. I don't mind it being. Yeah. I kind of mind, but I would mind less of it being online only, multiplayer only, whatever. No offline, no split screen, whatever. If I could, at the very least, play that classic mode too, because I don't know even though it in itself also isn't like groundbreaking, it is kind of where they came from versus like they tried something new, and though I don't think they failed, I also don't think they did anything worth mentioning. So
yeah anything else? Impressions wise, this is gonna be rough for me. Let's go into recommendations, because I don't know who I could recommend this game to. If you're a Worms fan, I would not tell you to play this game.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
it's
to
a
check,
weird departure.
I'll tell you to check it out. Just if you like the Worms as characters, but gameplay wise, this isn't a Worms game. So that's rough. If it was for sure free to play, I would recommend to a bunch of people. Be like, yeah, if you just like a big arena shooter that's 2D, especially if it's on phone, and be like, oh, it's good, it's cool mobile game. But other than that, I don't know who to recommend this game to, because I don't have enough interest in it to even let somebody, like, if somebody's like, oh, I want an online shooter, I got fucking so many to tell you before I would even ever fucking dream of mentioning this game.
Yeah.
Oh, I like big fucking battles with a lot of people. Oh, there's so many games out there that are worth mentioning that's not this game. I know I sound negative, but this game really doesn't have a place, in my opinion. I might be being harsh on it but I don't even dislike the game.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to I'm not trying to poo-poo. I'm not shitting on it.
No, it's just not exciting.
It's just there's nothing about it, even in the Worms franchise, that makes sense to me. It feels fucking soulless, in my opinion. So what do you guys think? Like, who would you recommend it to?
I don't know if I would specifically recommend it, but I do think that accessibility-wise, most people could and probably should try to see if maybe they do enjoy it. I don't think you have really anything to lose as long as it's not some full price game, but as a plus game, try it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're paying for it, I would say don't. But if you have access to it as a plus game, if you like run and gun shooters and like kind of like arena style shooters, give it a go. It's a light arena. It's nothing crazy. It's just really generic.
I can't remember any of the names of the games, but I've played like 4 or 5 games. They're online, and they are essentially like low graphic, 2D perspective, 2D designed shooters that they play exactly like this. If I was talking with somebody and they're like, "Oh, did you ever play that game back in the day?" and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that game. I'm not really big on those, but did you ever try Worms?" I think that's the best route I could give somebody to recommendation. He's like, oh yeah, Worms did that too. So did you ever play that? I think that's about as good as I can do.
I don't think I can do that.
Well, it's just a limited market. So I would just see if they have touched every game that exists in that genre, which I've always thought were kind of, I guess if you're really into 2D platformers and you like the idea of playing a shooter, but you don't like playing in 3D spaces, that kind of makes sense to me. I'm sure there's a market for it. I just always kind of assumed they were made because you could probably play them on your laptop pretty easily. Like they could be easily played on everything, and you could play a shooter on anything. So it kind of made sense to me back in the day. Now I'm just like, yeah, I don't know why you would have that. But yeah, any more recommendations? Any at all? Just add some if you like racing games. Play Worms. All right, let's grade it. I'll grade it first. I'm gonna give this a very weak C. I don't want to give it a C- because I feel like that's negative. I can't give it a C+. I don't think it excels at anything. It passes. It does exactly what they wanted to do. that they wanted it to do this is the question of why'd they pick this. But it's fun. It's fun. I can't give it anything that's worth noting. It's literally the grade I'm giving it is what the game is. It's just a C. It does what it's supposed to do, and it's not that exciting. Chevy.
Yeah, I probably agree with the C. I was teeter-tottering between that and the C plus because I do think there are some things about it, but Worms has done those things anyways, like customization and different voices and different languages and stuff like that, which I appreciate, but it's not really new for the Worms franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, C.
I'm gonna be the harsh one. I'm gonna give it a C minus. It feels like a shameless cash grab for a game that's using the Worms franchise to lure people in.
Yeah, without Worms being attached to it, this would be a forgotten game that no one would
Generic
care about.
shooter.
Yeah.
I still think it will be.
So do
Oh,
I,
yeah.
but I'm saying the only chance it has of even getting recognition at all is that it says Worms.
Yeah.
It'll go down as a Worms game. So
Yep.
that's
I
it.
feel bad slightly just because I don't want to discourage people from trying new things with their IPs, but like Worms is so established for so long with so many games having the same gameplay style, the core mechanics of it, that this is just such a weird departure for me that I'm done.
Yeah, it doesn't
kind of
feel
upset.
creative. Feels like there's do that. We can get a lot of
Yeah.
people in a server at once, and then we can get a lot of people playing. At the cost of kind of sacrificing anything that makes it feel like Worms, which this doesn't feel like Worms. Yeah. So C and C minus. Anything else you guys would say?
I do agree with the don't discourage from trying new things. I actually would love to see them evolve in some way or shape or form, but obviously in this case it wasn't like a hit. I even think they could take the formula they have if they figured out a way to evolve it. But I'm not a programmer, so I'm like I can't really give much advice in that regard. But yeah, I mean, feel free to keep trying stuff with Worms franchise, but occasionally put out one that still has the classic mode, because that's, I feel, where your base is going to be until you can figure out what else to do with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't discourage Team 17 doing anything or not trying new things too. They already have.
Yeah.
And I like a lot of the things they've done. I just go, I kind of like the traditional ones more, but this is fine. I like that. Like the 3D one I thought was cool. It's just different, but this just, it feels like a huge step backwards. It feels below them
Yeah.
to make. So, but yeah, I wouldn't be like, hey, don't try things ever again. Just maybe make this a little more interesting. Maybe make it turn-based. Make a turn-based mode where 25 people are playing. That'd be kind of interesting. Then it would feel like a real Rumble with all these people taking turns and shooting and shit. So yeah. Anything else? All right, let us know in the comments what you guys think of Worms Rumble. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Have you played the prior Worms games? What's your favorite Worms game? And yeah, what do you want from this game? If you didn't get what you wanted, if you did get what you want, what would you like to see them add? Let us know everything you're thinking about in the comments below. Second game we played this month is Rocket Arena, which is a 3-on-3 arena shooter that plays in a similar vein as the Smash Bros games, surprisingly, where you do enough damage to someone, build up enough pressure on them until they go flying out of the map, and counts as a point. There is a roster of a bunch of different characters with different abilities, different looks, and plenty of things to unlock. And 3v3 versus people. I don't know if it had bot support or not.
Had bot support.
It did.
Okay.
I didn't. I played against real people. And I think that game is also locks you in though to play only certain modes or something like that until you rank up. They both kind of do that.
I think so. I don't remember. I played it earlier in the month.
Because I remember I played against bots too, but it was because I had to early on.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, we all played that. Let's go with Chevy. What were your impressions of? Did you go first last time? I think Chris did. Yeah. Rocket Arena.
So I played, I don't know how many matches, however many characters there are, I played that many matches. I wanted to try every character.
You tried every fucking character?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Me, Chris, and a community member played against bots the whole time, but enough to try, see every map, try every character. and I can confidently say I don't like this game at all. I think it, and it maybe it's because I'm not a big Smash fan either, but I just the gameplay loop is so just boring to me. I don't mind like playing shooters and stuff like that, but the getting juggled around and having to like bring yourself back down and stuff like that, I find really obnoxious. I mean, it plays fine, and they do have unique abilities per each class, so I want to give them some credit because I do think they put some effort into that, and I do think it's a neat idea to have to juggle people outside the arena. I just think personally that gameplay loop is very just not for me at all. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's worth noting as well for anybody watching this who might not know you. You don't like Smash Bros.
I don't like Smash Bros.
So
yeah.
it's important. It's important to throw that out there.
And I also, I think I found one character that I thought was okay to play as. The moveset wise, I thought a lot of the moves were okay. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a pretty cut and dry game. So
yeah. Chris, impressions.
I also played this game with Chevy against bots enough to play all the characters, see all the maps. And I also will give them credit that each character is unique in style and combat. Like they all are very different from each other, which is in trying out all the characters, but it does get repetitive after a while. The same style of gameplay. I found myself looping back to the little squirrel wizard thing over and over again, just because I could one-shot people out of the arena over and over again. Really, there's not much else to the game. It's got a diverse roster of like I think 12 characters. I think it was. I can't remember, but some of them feel like your generic characters that you'd expect in kind of a shooter game like this, and some of them feel very unique and out there, like the crazy cat girl who throws robotic cat heads at people to do black hole effects and things like that. It's flashy, but it does get really, really repetitive after a while.
Yeah. Anything else?
It's just kind of a game that I played and it's like, okay, bye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm going to be the weird one here. I actually like this game a lot more than I thought I would. I am the resident shooter fan here, so it makes sense. I also like arena shooters, and I like Smash Bros. Enough. I thought it was neat. I don't love this game, but I enjoyed playing it because I thought that the shooting was tight. I liked the abilities of being able to move around. They're all different per person. Some people kind of fly, some people double jump. I dig that. Everybody's got their own weapons that are unique. Some people have like a sphere you can shoot that slows people down. Other people have like, a barrage of rockets that can shoot at people. And I found myself enjoying it. Not enough to really come back to it throughout the month, but I can confidently say I liked it. Like I said, I think the shooting was tight. I really think that taking the formula of Smash Bros. And putting it into a shooter is very refreshing. I'm surprised that not more people have made more Smash Bros. Type games in general. A couple people have attempted it, but to take that formula and put it in a different genre, I think is really interesting, because this is just an arena shooter otherwise. But to have that system where I've been hit enough that I can get hit one last time, so I have to be way more evasive in the way I'm fighting people. I really enjoyed that. There's like a lot of like stress involved with that. In fact, I didn't get shot out of the sphere fucking almost ever. Just because, as soon as I got hit, I'd be like, oh shit, and I'd start hiding and stuff like that. It also really benefits you to be accurate, specifically with some of the people who have like charge up abilities. It's very satisfying to watch somebody get juggled into the air and then fucking hit them with a single shot and launch them out of the air. Did that quite a few times. Really enjoyed that. The biggest weaknesses to this game is visually it's clean, it's nice looking, but it's generic looking. There's not a lot of maps, so that's kind of a could be a better thing. I saw there's a bunch of DLC, but I'm not buying that. And the unlockables per character are not enough to keep me playing it. They're fine. They're better than Worms. This game's better than Worms. But outside of those things that are the kind of the formula to keep you in the game, I enjoyed playing the game. I would actually play this on PC for free. I would not buy this game. I think it's like $5 right now too. I wouldn't even pay that. But if it was free to play or whatever, I would definitely check it out on PC. Just because, I thought it was really fun. For the time that I played it, just nothing really made me want to come back to it because I have better games to play. If I want to play shooter, I'll go play fucking Hunt Showdown. It's monumentally a superior game to most games, but this game specifically. But it's a cool idea. I really think it's a really good idea. Somebody else maybe could do it better, but I enjoyed myself. I didn't get to play with people, which kind of sucks, but I did play against bots and real people, and it was fun. It was fun. I feel like a lot of people are kind of out of their element, though. There's certain games that like people like back when I was like really into Tribes, you would see people not sliding around, not skiing in the game. I'm like, these people don't know what the fuck they're doing in this game, because if you're not skiing, you're dead. I just see them running across the field. I'd fly by and go boom and kill them instantly. In this game, I was seeing people not really utilizing. And it came out on PlayStation Plus. Everybody's probably brand new to this game. I get that, but I learned it pretty quickly. But I kind of noticed a lot of people weren't utilizing their moves, and they weren't really paying attention to people once they like bounced off out of their sight, and they go looking for someone else. I'm like, no, you got to pursue that person to get them the fuck out. So that was really easy for me to take advantage of. And yeah, it's a cool idea. I just wish it was executed in a way that was like addictive, but I enjoyed playing it. Let's jump into recommendations.
Okay.
I would recommend this game at a fair price, which, like I said, I've been seeing it for like $5 everywhere, or on PlayStation Plus if you got it there, or if it goes free to play. I would recommend this game to people who are into arena shooters that are looking for something a little lighter, nothing like Quake where you're going to be blowing people up. People who like Smash Bros. And are okay with 3D environment shooters, because it is just an arena shooter, but it has that Smash Bros. Mechanic that I think people would feel real at home with. Once I kind of clicked, I was like, oh shit, okay. People who are into games like Overwatch and hero shooters, I think maybe could get into this. It's not as good as Overwatch, but and other games like it, but it's in the same vein in the sense that you have all these different characters that you're unlocking, skins and stuff like that for them, and it has a fresh take on a shooter, which I can definitely applaud. If you like cartoony looking games that are vibrant, it's definitely that. Although like I said before, it's a bit generic in its design. There's one character who's like just a little kid. And I was like, okay, like it's just a child.
Isn't that the scientist one too?
I think so. I didn't pay attention to any of their like lore or fucking really pay attention to them too much. Like he said, there's like a little wizard person and fucking some ice chick or something like that. And I was like, I get a little more creative. But yeah, I could definitely recommend this to some people. It's not going to be like first thing I bring up to people, but if people have played plenty of games within certain genres, I could see myself going like, oh, did you ever try out Rocket Arena? Yeah, I definitely would send people in the direction of this game, though. I'd like to see it. I feel like it doesn't have a chance, which is sad. But I'd like to see a game like this succeed and maybe them be able to support it a little longer. But just because its identity is very meh, and its name is Rocket Arena, right? Yeah.
All fairness, there's a game called Rocket League that did just fine. So
yeah, but its gameplay was fucking interesting enough that kept people playing.
For sure.
And this game could have done that. It's just it falls in the same trap as a lot of games that I can appreciate but don't play. The progression is, oh, here's your banner, here's your fucking flag, here's your skins.
The usual suspects.
Yeah, that stuff just isn't enough for me personally, but for other people it could be. I could see this game having a small, like, dedicated fan base, but I don't know if it will or not. But yeah, I could recommend it to some people.
I don't think I can add anything to that because it is literally an arena shooter with Smash Bros. Mechanics.
Yeah, that's exactly
and hero classes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what it is. So
it's kid friendly. There's no blood.
Yeah. If you're into any of those genres, try it. You might like it.
Maybe if you're into PvP as well, because it does have, similar to like Overwatch, like abilities that you have to be strategic about executing.
It's definitely more PvP than it is shooter.
Yeah, because you're building up
the
that
accuracy part.
Yeah,
so
which benefited me because I was fucking popping people real quick, especially out of the air. That was so satisfying. Just go pop, and they go whew,
Yeah,
out of the thing. I'm like, bye.
I was like, but because of the abilities and the essentially how much damage can I take before I become, I guess, gravity going the opposite direction at that point. It is definitely PvP at that point.
Yeah. Chris?
I got nothing to add to that. It's pretty cut and dry. I think who should play this game.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead and grade it, Chris.
It's just a C. It functions, but it's nothing crazy for me. It didn't stick out. I played it, and then after I played with Chevy and community member, I just stopped playing it. I just had no interest to play it. It functions. It's a game. It works. C.
It's fair. Chevy?
I mean, it's Worms for me. It's a C, so I don't know. This has been very lackluster for me so far. So
It is kind of a lackluster month for sure. I'm gonna give it a B minus just because I liked it. I'm gonna give it. I'm putting it in the B category because they tried something that's not just an arena shooter and not just a Smash Bros. Ripoff. They tried it, and I can appreciate that, and I enjoyed playing it. It just doesn't exceed, doesn't excel in anything, and it doesn't offer things that like are the must-have. No one else is doing this shit, but I liked it. It's fun. So B minus. I can't give it a B. It's not strong enough for B, but I don't think it's a C for me, just because I did enjoy Worms. I'm like, okay, that's what you got, cool. So yeah, B minus 2 C's. Very fair. Let us know in the comments. Did you guys play Rocket Arena? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What do you think about how they kind of married the arena shooter with Smash Bros? And who's your favorite character? I would answer that, but I don't remember any of them because they're all generic.
what shooter would you put Smash Bros. Mechanics in?
I think Halo should have a fucking mode for that.
I think Quake Champions could have a mode
Yeah.
pretty easily.
What'd you say, Chris, before?
Call of Duty.
It could be a mode. That's fine. But yeah, I said Halo because it's kind of an arena shooter. Even though they got the big maps, still plays like an arena shooter.
Yeah.
And Halo has all sorts of interesting fucking modes and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
But wait, what the fuck did you say?
Quake Champions.
Quake Champions, I think definitely could have like a fun mode like that as well,
for sure.
because it's a high skill game anyway. And if you add the prospect of being launched out the fucking map, I think people would like it. I would enjoy that. So that's a good one for sure. I still think you do it to like I wouldn't want that in like a tactical FPS.
No.
Yeah, it's got to be like a fast
Battlefield
paced
doesn't need that, for example.
yeah, it'd be scary to just watch people on the battlefield getting launched into space and fucking tanks going woo.
Just put it in Doom, and then instead of being launched out of the arena, you fly up in the sky and explode in a big blood rain.
I mean, that would be what happened.
Yeah, or you fly out into hell, go right
Yeah.
back to hell, or maybe go back to Earth. Maybe you're on hell already, or on hell like it's a planet in hell, wherever hell's at. Yeah, it have to be a game like that can allow itself to be that kind of zany, goofy shit. So,
Yeah.
all right, let us know everything you're thinking about Rocket Arena in the comments below. Last game we played this month is Just Cause 4, which is the fourth in the series of Just Cause, where you play as a dude going around an island, blowing up all the red shit to unlock more things, to blow up more red shit, to progress further. This game now offers a way to push these like battle lines on the map where your militia is pushing and taking over the island, which is an interesting new thing. It adds
Scroll Suit.
Squirrel Suit was in the other games.
Oh.
Yeah. This one adds modifications to your grappling hook that allows you to have balloons, rockets, and to be able to constrict, pull them together, and offers more of the same crazy action and physics-based combat playground that you'd expect from Just Cause, while also offering some pretty, I'm kind of going to my own opinion here now, but mundane storytelling. We all played it. Also offers a gigantic map. That's like a staple. It's just a fucking huge ass map. We all played it, and who went first last time?
I did.
And Chris went first already? Mm-hmm. All right, so my impressions. It's no secret I'm a fan of Just Cause. I like Just Cause 1, 2, 3, and I like Just Cause 4. I bought it when it came out, played it when it came out. I didn't play it much, though, because I had just been playing Just Cause 3 a lot recently, and then 4 came out, and I was like, I feel like I've already been playing a lot of Just Cause. But coming back to it and playing it, at first I was like, I still had that mentality of like, man, I've played so much Just Cause, dude. Like, I don't know if I want to play that this month. And then, like, I just booted it up out of obligation for the show, and I was just having a blast instantly. Like, as soon as I started playing, I'm like, oh, yeah, this game. And I started, like, fucking tying up cars and putting, like, a rocket on one side and blue on this side, and I'd fucking hold the button down and watch them go just in the sky and shit flying around. This game has tornadoes, which is fucking scary. I remember this didn't happen this month, but when I played it originally, I had like put 4 balloons on this little like Volkswagen Bug, and I was just sitting in it. I was just kind of floating across the sky in this like fucking sky bug, and there was a fucking tornado out in the distance. I was just floating at it until it pulled me in. I started flying around the tornado, and I got sucked into it. It fucking pulled me out of the car, pulled me up through the tornado into the cloud line, and then fucking threw me out of the tornado. And as I was flying in the sky, I looked out in the distance, I could see the Volkswagen Bug just going just flying off into a distance, and then it hit, went boom, and just exploded. I'm like, this game is ridiculous. The shooting is the best it's felt in a while, although this game definitely feels like it's suffering from too much stuff happening for a PlayStation 4 Pro, what I played it on. The frame rates don't feel great. It's like 30 FPS, maybe less sometimes, which kind of sucks. But, you know, in the original Just Cause, if you can remember back then, it had a lock-on system to shoot people, which is fucking stupid. You know, now the more modern Just Cause games just play like a third-person shooter. This one feels really good, really tight. Using your zip line grappling hook is great, awesome. It's always been awesome. This is better than ever. You know, parachuting and using your squirrel suit is fun. Negates the point of even ever driving a fucking car. It's always kind of a treat when a mission's like, oh, get in the car and drive it. I'm like, you want me to drive a car? Okay, I'll do that. I get in, I'm like, oh, this is nice. Like, I forgot about this. You know, there's jets flying around, fucking hot air balloons and shit. Like, I went up grappled onto that, took over a hot air balloon. I think it's in the footage you guys are seeing here. And then I saw a base full of the red stuff you got to blow up. That's the point of the game. And I flew it right into the red stuff, and fucking my balloon just popped instantly and fucking exploded. And I was just on the ground, took no damage. And I started, you know, destroying things as you do in this game. But, you know, in a game that's already like physics based and just kind of zany, crazy fun, destruction, them adding more grappling hooks or zip lines that you can tethers, more tethers to put out, only adds to how creative you can get with using them. But also adding the balloons, different functions to the balloons, where you can have it kind of fill up a lot, fill up a shitload, so it'll launch things quicker. Being able to put rockets on items or, you know, vehicles or whatever, and then also control, you know, how those work, whether it's just like a constant stream of rocket or, you know, you have to press the button to get different throttles to it or whatever. And the constriction, it really adds to just how crazy you can get with the destruction in this game. It's just more tools. And at first, coming back to it, I felt almost overwhelmed. I was like, fuck, dude, I forgot how to play this game. I didn't play from the beginning this month. So I just like hop in and start pressing buttons. I was like, I think this is how you do it. This is how you do it. Once it clicked, it worked. But it's just a blast to play. The weapons now have like alt fire modes and stuff. The prior games didn't have that. Heavy guns have like shields you can put down and fire from behind. The SMG seems like it has some kind of like, I don't know if it's a shotgun or a rocket, but you have to charge it up and it goes boom and hits shit and blows it up. Which helps a lot, because in the older Just Cause games, sometimes you'd find like a silo that's red, and if you didn't have explosives with you, just sit there and unload on it for a while, and it just wouldn't blow up. It would take forever, and finally it would explode. Now you can just hit it with one of those and just blow it up, so they've kind of streamlined that a bit. The world, the island's fucking gorgeous. It's beautiful. There's a lot of really cool landmarks, a lot of secret stuff. There's puzzles in this one. Which is cool. You'll find like these like old like ruins that you like will start transforming stuff in the landscapes. You got to go around and do certain things to unlock things. For not to jump into recommendations, but I mean, if you're looking for like an open sandbox game to cause havoc in creative ways with awesome physics, there's not really a whole lot of games that really surpass this game. Where this game lacks, like all the other games, is I don't know what's going on in this game. I know a revolution's happening, because all the games, there's a revolution happening, and you're helping the revolutionaries, and there's some bad militia dudes, and you're killing them and blowing their shit up, and Rico is a character who's fucking whatever. Like, he's fun to play as, but I don't give a shit about him as a character. If they killed him off in a game and introduced a new guy, I'd be like, that's kind of weird, but I wouldn't be like, what the fuck? I'd be like, okay, whatever, replace him. Let me make my own character. So yeah, I don't give a fuck about the story. I don't give a fuck about the characters. I play this game for what the game's made for, and they make it very well in what it does. Really enjoyed playing this game when I did play it this month, and yeah. Let's go to Chevy.
I'm going to echo a couple things here. I mean, the game plays really well. It looks really well. I don't really recall frames dropping too much, but I didn't really get too crazy with it either. Let's see. The tether system, just like previous games, I think is a fun, essentially toy to play with in the game. And I also think that when you're playing it and the story's happening, I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever, blah, 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 just kind of skip through it because it's not known for that. It's not a very grabbing story. It's just a means to get you to more stuff to do in the game.
Although this game does offer missions that are a little more involved than prior games. I think it's worth mentioning. They're not that much more involved, but they are more interesting.
Yeah.
Because in the older games, like it was like, go destroy all the red stuff. But the story's like, oh, there's a base over there. I'm like, there's a base everywhere. Just let me go. I'll fucking destroy them.
This whole place is the base.
Yeah. Until it's not, which I'm here for. That's why I'm here.
It reminds me a lot of in the going around and destroying everything aspect. It's kind of like Red Faction in that regard for me as well. I can't remember the name of which Red Faction it was where you wander around and you destroyed everything, but I think it was the most recent one. Anyways, and then similar to, I think it's like Saints Row 4, there's cars in it, but why? There's literally no reason for them other than
little more than Saints Row though. Because in Saints Row you literally fly,
yeah,
and there's nothing to do with the cars. And this you can like rig them up with all sorts of shit to use them as like a weapon or get creative or do crazy stunts and shit.
Yeah, but you don't really have a whole lot of reason to drive them.
To just drive them, no.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do some cool stuff with them.
For sure.
Saints Row, it's like get rid of the cars. There's no reason to have them.
Yeah, they're an aesthetic that you can sit in them for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything negative to say about the game. This does now come into my personal territory, which is this game is literally everything I don't do in video games. It is a huge freaking sandbox with the guidance of go destroy stuff. And I have fun for about 10 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do. I'm done with this. And I just kind of shut it off. I can't find long-term enjoyment in games like this. I struggle even in games like Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, etc. I'm sure I'm irritating a bunch of people by saying this, but like it's just not my type of game.
And you don't like Smash Bros.
Yeah, I'm just irritating everyone.
You're telling everybody, I don't like your fucking games.
I do think everything about it is great. It's just, for me, it's not the type of game I enjoy playing. So I appreciate it. I think they've done a really good job. I hear nothing but great things from people, and I love hearing that. And because of that, when we do get to the next segment, it's a lot easier for me than the last two games to do.
This is the best game this month.
100%.
By far.
This is the PlayStation Plus games for the month. This game.
This is a legit game.
And I'm thrilled that people who maybe didn't have access to Just Cause are getting access to Just Cause, because I do think it's a quality game. But
I think it's cool they gave out Just Cause 3 last year and Just Cause 4 this year. So there's like, we got our sales. Throw it on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's a good game for people to get. A lot of gameplay there. You're going to be playing a long
you spend hundreds
time.
of hours in this game.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to like say it's a bad game. It's not. I'll never play it. So.
And again, for anybody who may be new here, you typically don't like open world sandbox games in the sense that they're not very, they don't really guide you.
Any structure.
They're not structured in a way, and you want someone to structure you as opposed to making your own structure.
Yeah, I mean, I work 40 hours a week. I want to come home and like get through a game and not like spend all year on one game.
Yeah, which you could definitely do in this game.
Yeah. So.
It's hard because I kind of just feel the same way you guys do. It's a Just Cause game. It's the same kind of format with new peripherals tacked onto it. It's kind of got a shiny new gloss to it. It's fun. I find myself, like the other ones, playing more with the tether system than I do shooters because I'm not a big shooter. I do enjoy sandbox games though, with the creativity and freedom to do kind of whatever the fuck I want. So the grapple system or the tether system having like these variations you can make on it was really entertaining to figure out what I could do to adjust how I could combat enemies and whether I would just throw rockets at people and launch them off into space, or create a tethering system of 19 balloons to launch a fucking car out into to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
There's enjoyment, but it does get kind of like, all right, I'm wandering around, kind of doing whatever, because every time a cutscene would happen for the story, I just skip it because I don't give a shit. I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't care about the story at all. And I mean, if you like Just Cause, the previous ones, there's a story there. It's kind of a continuation of the stories. You know, it's kind of tacked in there. That's great if you enjoy that, but I just couldn't give two shits about it. And like Seth said, if they got rid of Rico, I probably wouldn't even notice, to be honest.
Yeah.
Discount Batman.
It's enjoyable, but once I played it for a couple hours, I was like, okay, I get the gist of it. I've played the other Just Causes enough. I don't feel super compelled to keep playing it because there's a lot to do, and I have a life, and I have other games I need to play.
Yeah, it's so much of a sandbox, and I'm a fan of the series. It's so much of a sandbox, though, that you are unlocking things, new weapons and vehicles, stuff like that. But it feels like from beginning to end, there's so much to do, and you're just going to be doing this forever. So it's easy to go, I'm going to go play something where there's like a more definitive objective I'm going towards outside of just mayhem and destruction. It's a good game to hop into and have some fun, but it's not a game that I can stick to for too long, just because I never feel like there's never a sense of like completion in a game like this. Even when I move and take over a new area or whatever, it's cool. That's a system, but like I don't feel gratification in my advancement in these games. I played them for the explosions and the creativity and how to make those explosions, and that's it. So there's no end game that I'm trying to get to. There's no end goal I'm trying to get to. I don't care about the story of the characters, just the gameplay. Gameplay is dope.
Yep. I mean, that being said, the only problem I had in the game is probably just me. Was once I got the heat high enough in the game where there's the threat meter for the enemies detecting you, I couldn't get away, no matter what I did. Like I could drive miles and miles and miles away, and I'd turn a corner and instantly it'd be see him, and I just couldn't. The only result was die. It's the only way I could get away.
Interesting. I normally don't drive. I normally just like zip line into the mountains and start flying off and shit. But
I even doing that, the helicopters and jets would spot me, and I was just fucked.
yeah, I think you have to like kill them fucking quickly and destroy them before they can start tracking you. But they do pursue you like very aggressively.
It's like killer bees. It's just you poke the nest and like they all come at you and they don't stop. They just don't stop.
Yeah. I was I think I was floating on. I saw like a helicopter flying by that was transporting this giant fucking sphere that had red all over it. So I'm like, I gotta destroy that. And so I'm on the sphere, or whatever. And as soon as I got near that helicopter and on that sphere being carried by this helicopter, so I'm in the sky flying with this orb, this sphere. All these helicopters showed up and they're like flying around, fucking shooting at me. Shit, I'm shooting back at them. I'm like tethering them so they're flying into the fucking ball and exploding and shit. And that went on forever. They like just did not stop pursuing me. But then eventually the fucking sphere exploded, and then I went fucking flying, and I killed enough people that it stopped. So yeah, they are aggressive. But the game's also like very lenient in damage. You can take a lot of bullets in that game. It's crazy. I think in this clip that you guys are seeing, I don't know if it's there or not, but there was a point where I was in black and white, almost dead. And then I just kind of like ziplined out of there, went up on a hill. Someone was still shooting at me. I shot him. And the whole time I'm like, I'm going to die. And then I didn't. I was like, man, I had like a lot of time to kind of think about what I need to do. And I kind of let it get to that point. I literally stopped shooting at people. I was like looking around, where do I go? And I'm getting shot the whole time. And I'm like, I'll go that way. And then whew.
That happened to me when I started up the game. Just like the intro mission or whatever before you get moved into the story aspect of it. I was just getting shot at left and right because I like didn't have like a grasp on like the movement essentially of the game yet, And I was like, man, what the hell? There's so many bullets coming at me from every direction. And then it started clicking as I played. But
Kind of like what Chris said, man. It feels like a bee's nest when you piss them off. There's bullets coming from every direction. It's crazy. I started just like tethering people together so I can get less bullets flying at me. Like I'm like, stop,
Nope.
stop shooting at me. It's too many bullets. Yeah. Anything else? Impressions wise. All right, let's jump
Melee
in.
sucks in that game.
What does?
Melee. You just whip
you
your
whip
fucking
'em,
zip
yeah.
line, that's it.
Yeah. It kills them though, and it knocks them down, and then you can kill them after a while. But they just go flying and shit. I use my tether in that game almost more than anything. If a vehicle's after me, I'll just tether the front of the vehicle and then the road, and it goes boom, and it fucking flips and blows up. And then if it's a flying thing, I'll tether it to whatever the hell, and it'll just go woo, woo, and just fly into shit and blow up, and it's satisfying. I love it. But yeah, I don't shoot unless I really need to. Even with people, I'll like tether into them and fucking kick them, or send them fucking flying off a building or whatever, or put a rocket on them and just watch them fucking spin out into the sun and shit. So yeah, let's jump into recommendations. Let's start with Chris this time.
Oh god. If you like a sandbox game that has freedom of combat, how you fight your enemies, I think you'd enjoy this. I mean, obviously, if you played Just Cause before, I really have no recommendations outside of like a sandbox game, to be honest, because that's what this really is. It's a heavy sandbox game with some shooting in it.
Yeah, Chevy.
yeah, I mean, if you like the idea of being able to just kind of do whatever you want and live out a Michael Bay movie, that's what this is. You just run around, you cause chaos. Like you said earlier, it's kind of hard to die. Like the game is very, very lenient in that regard, which just allows you to play sloppy as you want, just to greedily get all that chaos going. So
yeah, it does allow you to get more chaotic and creative in the moment when you can take the bullets. I think that's by choice, so it makes sense why they did that. Yeah.
Which obviously anyone who's playing and enjoying this game, that's what they like about it, right? So
You gotta play this game for a challenge.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a big game to fill some time, I think this is a perfect game for that. I don't think most people would be bored with it. I know way too many people who enjoy this game, and if you go online, people praise it. So, I mean, if you're even remotely curious, I would recommend trying it.
The big thing they fucked up on this game is Just Cause 3 came out, and modders made a multiplayer version of it, and it was like the talk of the town when that happened. Everybody's like, dude, have you tried the fucking multiplayer for Just Cause 3? I think Just Cause 2 had it as well. I'm surprised with the 4th iteration they still have not made a multiplayer mode. It was fucking huge on Steam. Everybody's like getting a copy and fucking getting that modded mode just so they can fucking play, and like 50 people on a map doing crazy shit. And it's all just the same character. And I'm like, it's a real big missed opportunity that 4 didn't have a multiplayer mode. At the very least, 2-player co-op.
I don't even know why they couldn't do 4-player.
I don't know why they can't do 50-player. Modders did it.
Well, stability reasons, I'm sure.
They're a developer. They got the resources. Some guy in his basement going, hey, let's fucking allow 50 people. Anyway, that being said, just something we didn't really talk about. Recommendations, if you like third-person shooters, this is a very it's a straight-up third-person shooter that plays well. If you like games with like alternate firing weapons, this game has plenty of those. If you like games like Grand Theft Auto and Saints Row, this is in the same vein because it is a game where you can jack cars and vehicles and do a bunch of crazy stunts and do a bunch of stupid shit all over a gigantic map. If you like open-world games, sandbox games, this is a chaos sandbox game. If you like games with destruction involved, and that's the point of them, like Red Faction and even Destruction Derby type games. If you like just watching fucking shit break apart, you like the physics of it, this game's definitely something you probably already played but should play. If you like games with plenty of content, you want to get a game, you want to fucking spend a lot of time in it, this game's for you. This game's got a lot of shit to do. I mean, it's fucking similar to an Ubisoft game in the sense of like, you look at the map and go, ooh, there's a lot of things to do. I'm going to be here for a while. That can kind of chase me off a bit because I like a game that's decently long, but I also like it to feel structured and not so just artificially full of meh things to do. But I know a lot of people who like, they're only gonna buy like one game in a couple months, and they want that game. They want to get plenty of play out of that. This game is definitely one of those games that you could play for a long time, and it's gonna be interesting. It's got a lot of shit going on, a lot of things to unlock, a lot of crazy action.
Yeah, I do have one to add actually.
Good.
I know there are some people out there who prefer gameplays to be like games to be more game-y and less movie-like, and this is definitely a very game-y.
Oh, you can skip the cutscenes in this all day, and everyone I know does.
So
who gives a fuck? Play that game.
If you don't like movie-style games and you prefer more gamey style games, that's what this is.
I appreciate that they saw people going like, Just Cause, who gives a fuck about the story? And they're like, well, we're going to work on cinematics. And they did, but still, it's just like, nah, I'm not playing this for that. I can appreciate that you tried to build some story here.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about any of these people. I just want to play this game. Yeah.
I have an addition. If you're looking for a game that you can just hop in really quick, play a little bit, and hop out and not feel like you didn't make any progress or lost anything.
For sure, you can accomplish like a whole destruction of a base in like 15 minutes. Like just hop in, you got a little bit of time to waste before something. You can find something to do. Even if you don't accomplish something, you're gonna have fun. You're just gonna hop in, fucking tether a jet, fly that jet into the side of a mountain, and you're gonna be like, wow, that's fucking crazy. And then you're gonna be done. You're gonna feel like that. That's the beauty of the game. And kind of like what Sherry was saying, like, we talk about it. It's a game. It's a video game. It's very gamey, and it's just meant to be fun, and it's fun. So yeah, I mean, I could really recommend this to a lot of people. You like driving cars in games. The game's got decent fucking physics. It has a really good physics engine, honestly. I love physics in games. And so I'm like sitting there like as a physicist just looking at fucking like, oh, what can I do here? Like fucking let's try this. And it's cool in that regard. But yeah, like if you like flying, you like driving, it's got all sorts of shit to do in it. Just if you're looking for a game that's going to fucking compel you storyline wise, this game is not even going to try. So don't come here looking for that. If you can find some enjoyment out of the story in this game, cool, dude. I'm stoked for you. But they didn't really put the effort in for that, and it shows. But again, I'm not looking for that. Yeah. I mean, even if you like sandbox games where you create stuff like Gary's Mod, you would dig this game. It's light, but it has all these cool modifiers to your tether now where you can get really creative. And I mean, I linked 4 cars together with my tethers and then put balloons on each fucking car. So I had this little floating island of 4 cars that was just janky and moving like the ocean while it's floating in the sky. I kept wanting to say the sea. And then I had like 2 rockets on one side to like propel it forward, but they were like weak rockets, so I could keep, because if they're too powerful, they would fucking go flying everywhere and shit. And I was like, this is stupid. And I was just up there shooting down at people and shit on my fucking floating car island. I'm like, this is dumb. Why? If anybody saw that, they wouldn't be like, I gotta stop that guy. They'd be like, that's fucking more power to you, man. Go do your 4-car island thing, man. If you did that, who am I to stop you?
It's their own version of Up.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you could really recommend it to a lot of people. And I think a lot of people could enjoy this game. How invested you're going to get into it is going to vary per person, but I think most people could pick this game up, play it, and not be bored. Let's jump into grades. Who grade first, last? Do you guys remember?
Mm-mm.
I'm very tired, so like my brain's not fucking working. Chevy, grade it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a quality game. It has a lot going for it. I think it only has a couple weaknesses, and I think one of those is the story, obviously, and the other is I can't remember the music at all in the game. So
me neither. All I can hear is explosions and gunshots.
Yeah. I'd probably give it a B+. It's a quality game. I think most people would like it. It has room to improve. I don't like it, but that doesn't mean it's a bad game.
Yeah. I'm also going to give it a B+. It's interesting you went that high. I'm going to give it a B+. I can't give it an A territory because there's nothing about it that's like that resonates with me in an impactful or strong way. I don't go, man, that's a good fucking game, which I kind of reserve A for, unless it has like an idea that's very original. But very strong B+. It's a solid ass fucking third-person shooter. For what it does, I think it is the best or in the best top 3 of what it does in destruction open world sandbox games. The game's a blast. It's very fun to play. and I couldn't even dream of giving it anything lower than a B plus. I just can't. It's just stuck. I can't let it into the A section.
It lives here.
But it can't be a B either because it's just dope. It's just a dope fucking game. If they make like a Just Cause 5 and they add multiplayer and they make like a main character that's like fucking Solid Snake and it's got a dope ass fucking storyline, might sneak into A minus territory, but that's not going to happen. So B plus, it's a solid ass game. It's really fun to play.
I'm going to give it a B. I did find a lot of fun playing it, but again, like you said, there's no story to compel me, and that's usually A territory for me if it really moves me emotionally. But it was a lot of fun to play. I just couldn't find myself playing it for extended periods of time. But it's a solid game. The physics are all there. It's not janky as hell. It's actually really well done, and it's just fun to watch things blow up and tether them to the moon. So
Yeah.
B.
Makes sense to me. A lot of C's in this episode, but we ended it with a game getting out of that territory, so that's nice. Let us know in the comments what you guys think of Just Cause 4. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Did you play the prior games? Are you a fan of those? What would you like to see them add to Just Cause 4? I didn't really mention this too much in my impressions, but this game really does feel like 3.6 to me. It doesn't feel like a true sequel to 3, and it feels like 3 but refined with added stuff. So if they make a Just Cause 4, what would you like to see them add to the game? I think multiplayer should be added for sure. And what is your favorite additions of Just Cause 4? What's some anecdotal shit you did in Just Cause 4? It's a game where you can go like, oh, I did this. Oh, I did this. What'd you do? Oh, that's crazy. Let me know everything you're thinking about when it comes to Just Cause 4 in the comments below. Also, what do you think about the story? Do you like the story? Do you like the main character? Is his name Rico? I feel like it's supposed to be. I think it's Rico. But I also feel like if it's not, I'm going to feel like an asshole.
Pretty positive it's Rico.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let us know everything you think about in the comments below. But that's going to do it for December's episode of Plus Club, the last Plus Club of 2020. And goddamn, what a fucking year it is.
Yeah.
Time to get into the next year. I don't feel like things are going to change a whole lot, but we're finally getting out of this shit. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, especially if you're new here. Make sure to check us out on social media, link down below. Check out our streams, links down below as well. We have Discord. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. Link down below. We have Patreon, link down below. You can support the channel further than liking this video, commenting, and subscribing if you're new. We also have audio forms of this podcast on audio websites, podcast platforms. That's what they are.
Also down below.
Down below, iTunes, Spotify, and other shit like that. Check that out. And stay tuned. We have Tasty Tuesday, and we have Game of the Month coming up this week. It's going to be a busy week. And till then, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
And have a good night, guys, and take it easy.